name is Bobby Joe Gentry.
You're gonna have to project.
And most of you know me, Bobby Joe Gentry. I'm here today to be the voice for all the people who have been poisoned and killed by fentanyl. And this is my story. My middle son, Levi Daniel. I'm gonna pass these around, the pictures of my grandchildren. Yeah,
Levi Daniel. Yeah.
Levi Daniel Gentry. I got the call 2017 at 10:30 p.m. And it was a call that no parent wanted to get. My oldest son called me and he said, "Mom, it's Levi. It's not good." So I always worried, anyway, but so at the time I didn't have a car, so I had to wait on my sister-in-law to get me to the hospital. He was already gone. I didn't get to say goodbye. They put Narcan in him like 10 times. When I got to the hospital, they said he was gone. And I just fell to the floor. I went into the room where he was at and I held him.
How old was he?
27. Levi was
grandchildren in there?
27 years old.
Those two small children, they're
My grandchildren, yes. Levi's daughters. Now I'm off track.
Two thoughts.
I just pray that I can focus.
You got the call, they said it wasn't good.
No.
Got to the
So
hospital.
anyway, I didn't have a car because I had lost my job of 20 years, my home, my car, everything. I cared for my mother, which saved my life. And I'm grateful to God that I had her to care for, because if it wouldn't have been, God used her to save my life, actually. So I get there and he's gone, and I was there for hours and hours. Levi was like a comedian, and he'd walk in a room and he'd be the light. If you were sad, he'd make you happy. If you cried, he'd make, wouldn't be sad anymore, because he had such a great personality. And everybody loved him. I can't even explain what this has done to me and my family. It's really almost destroyed us. I remember praying to God to help me when I got the bad news about my brain. I prayed to God. I said, "God, please let me live long enough to raise my sons." And he did. And then when Levi left, I prayed that he would take me home. But he didn't. And I can hear Levi, the light, shine the light through the darkness. Levi always said, he always had pet talks with me. He was, he had an old soul. And he says, "Mom," he goes, "it's time, shine your light, shine." He said, "because you have so much potential." He said, "You need to settle down and shine." So that's where my logo comes from, Shine On. Levi would say, "Shine on, Mom, you got a lot of potential." And one day he looked at me and he said, "When you see a tree, what do you see?" And I'm like, "Oxygen, fall leaves, And he said, "A tree gives and never takes." And he said, "You're that tree, Mom." And there was other things that he, would share with me. He was always, I was so close to him. Levi was just like me. His spirit and his children's spirits like mine. He was a great young man. He kept score for the Down syndrome children, and he didn't like anybody making fun of them. He protected them. There was a young lady that wanted to go to prom, and nobody would take her, so he went with her. He just had a heart as big as the ocean. I can't say enough about him. These are his awards and everything. He was a skilled trade. He was going to be an underwater welder. Okay? And he did more in a little bit of time than the men had been there 40 years. Levi did more than what they did. He was mechanically inclined. He was just an amazing young man. The case is still open. Nobody's come forward, nobody knows. There's a lot of pieces to this puzzle that's missing. So nobody, I still to this day don't know. And the reason why it's been so long is people were supposed to take care of this. I spiraled down into a depression. And I mean, I didn't think I was gonna live. I took out a life insurance policy. I bought my lot next to him. I didn't think I was gonna live. I didn't think I could live without him. But God had other plans for me. And when I was caring for my mother, 3 days before she passed, she said, I seen Levi with Jesus. And she told me, she said, Bobby, when you wake up, you're not gonna believe what you see. The Lord is gonna pour his blessings upon you. You're not gonna believe it. And he did. I mean, I have a home, but I don't have my loved ones that I missed. But, so that was confirmation to me that he was with Jesus. And I raised my sons in the church. They were saved and baptized. I can't even explain. This just leaves a big hole inside me. It's devastating for all the families, the mothers and fathers and families that's went through this. And my youngest son, Levi, was like a father to him. And it affected all of us. And my granddaughter, she came over after he passed, and she goes, Mama, Bobby, I smell my dad. Because we were in the room that he was in. And then the fan was acting funny, and she goes, that's my dad. So now his daughters have to grow up without him. And he was a great father. If you look at the pictures, he was a great father. He was amazing. And there was nothing in his body except for pure fentanyl. And I don't care what people say on the streets. I don't care. I know my son. In my heart of hearts, I know he was set up. I do know that he was in pain. He complained of his back. I thought he hurt his back. And he complained about that. But he didn't know it. But after I got the autopsy back, it showed that he had gallstones. But there was nothing in his body but pure fentanyl. It's still an open case, and when I went to the police, and I wanted to know why his back window was broke out. I wanted to know why there was pills spread on the passenger side. Nobody knows. And I said, did you send those off to have them tested? And they said, no, but if we still have them, we will. And I said, yeah, send them off. All pure fentanyl. It was a rare fentanyl. It's called Cyclopro fentanyl. Cyclopro fentanyl is what it's called. And it's rare. And to this day, I still don't know who, what. There's a lot of things that need to be addressed. This is real. I'm real. Levi was real. The crisis, as you all know, we're in an open board America. There's some really bad things going on. I'm very concerned about our grandchildren and our children. I mean, there's sex trafficking, little children with bracelets, color-coded bracelets they're selling for sex. And the drugs, they got real clever. They're bringing in fentanyl in different ways, in the cars, and the tires, underneath the hood, shoes, fake watermelon. There's all different ways that they're bringing drugs through here. And a lot of them are getting through.
They walk through.
I'm sorry?
They just walk.
Yeah, it's really bad. This is real. This is a real crisis, and it's nationwide. This is real. I never dreamt that it would ever happen to me.
Yeah.
And Levi was such a fine young man. To this day, I'm still devastated. It took me 6 years to come out of the grief and depression. And so that's why I'm here today. is to let you all know that this is real. This is a real crisis nationwide. This is not a joke. And this, I don't care if you're rich, poor, famous, I don't care who you are. It can happen to anybody.
It can happen to anybody, because the restaurant that I go into on Sunday mornings once in a while, the waitress that was waiting on us, she lost her husband and, I'm sorry, lost her child, 24, in December, just in December. So what, not even 6 months ago? And it was from fentanyl. And he didn't do drugs or anything. Whatever it was laced in what he ate. So he had no control over that. So it does happen. And it, you know, you hear about it more and more and more. We just happen to know you. But I mean, I couldn't believe it when I was sitting there. And it was Christmas time, she's devastated. And she will never, ever, I feel so sorry for you guys, because
We'll never be
you
the same.
never, ever get over it. It's just not gonna happen. And it's so prevalent out here, and we don't even think about it. These people are walking in and they want to kill us. That's what they're
Yeah.
doing. They want to kill us. They want to get rid of us.
Well, see, they're taking the fentanyl, what they're doing is they're lacing everything with fentanyl now. And it not even, not just the opioids, is that how you say it? Opioids, not just that, everything. It's cheaper. They can make more money by cutting everything with fentanyl.
Because it's so
And
potent.
There's 3 types of fentanyl.
Oh, there's more. There's,
Is it
yeah. I did some digging.
Omni's the worst.
The one that Levi had was rare, could have come from Sweden. There's different types, and the way they cut it, they have no way of knowing how much is going in one drug or the other. So 2 people could be doing it, one will die and one won't. It's like playing Russian roulette with your life.
Where was he?
You can get, I'm sorry?
Where was he when this happened?
Was that he, as far as I know, he called his father. He was staying at his dad's house. He called his father and said he was on 725 and he was on his way there. And when he got to his father's house, the stepmother's house, that's where he passed. He got out of the car. He had his money. He was taken to his dad, blew all over the yard, and it's really hurtful because that's where it happened, at his dad's. When he got out of the car, I guess he went to his knee and was vomiting. And they used that, Narcan, thank you, Narcan, 10 times.
Now they try him, see?
Well, the firemen they're no longer, they retired. I went back and I've got all kinds of reports, the coroner reports, and there was no alcohol. No, man, he didn't smoke pot. He would drink beer once in a while.
You don't know where it came from, do you?
This type of fentanyl? Or
So all you know is that he died of it. That's all you really know.
That's all I know.
You don't even have to ingest this stuff, though.
Well,
Where I heard of it was down in Tennessee, they're lacing
If they got it on their hands or something.
dollar bills, tossing them on
If
the
you
street,
ingest
whoever
it,
picks it
Yes,
up.
that happened at a fair in Lima, Ohio. Yeah, it's bad.
it's not a joke, and it's here, and it's killing a lot of people. I just lost my niece, Haley Joe Lyles, in Louisiana, in her 30s, fentanyl. And I mean, this is real.
So it's not people that are necessarily doing drugs that are dying of it. It's people that just somehow get it and just die of it. It could be any of us.
It could be anybody, but mostly people who are
First
doing
responders
drugs.
even.
Excuse me?
First responders even, when they,
Yes, well, there was a police officer in Ohio they had to bring back that was exposed to it when they were investigating the car. Yeah, so there was firemen and police officers, sheriffs in Ohio that almost died from it, just going on a scene and investigating.
Even in the hospital, Bobby Joe, my mom was in the hospital and she was in severe pain. And nothing was controlling the pain. And so this nurse came by and she's like, well, I'm going to give her something for the pain. And She goes, and I said, well, what is it? Because she's like, be careful with whatever she takes, because she has reactions. And she goes, oh, this is just a very small dose, just to see if she can tolerate it. And she gave it to her, and she walked out. Her oxygen went from 100% down into 60. Like, right, her just with choomed, and the things were going off, and she had went next door, and I said, get back in here, the things are going off. She goes, oh, she's got definitely a reaction. I'll come in here. And so she comes back, and I said, what was that? She said, fentanyl. I said, please put that on her chart. Never again, whatsoever, in any sense.
Fentanyl is 100 times more potent than
Yeah.
morphine.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
fentanyl's been around since 1960. They used to use it for cancer, for treatment for cancer. And, I mean, it's everywhere.
Yeah.
Let's see, about 2 million pounds of illegal narcotics were seized by the U.S. officials in 2016. Smugglers trying to sneak these drugs across the border. But they're doing it, and they're doing it
All I'm saying is just common sense.
It comes from China. China's giving it to Mexico, and then they're smuggling it in.
Sweden, could be
big
anywhere.
Yeah. Well, petition.
Well, it's an illegal drug. It should not be brought into the country. There's already statutes on the books to
We need
prevent this.
to vote correctly. We need to get the borders shut down.
Part of the problem is you can write all the bills you want, and the law-abiding citizens will obey them. The criminals won't.
That's correct.
There's got to be consequences,
Right.
serious consequences for these activities.
We can thank
Until we get rid of the evil and
Yeah.
charge.
Then they have to be
Because
enforced.
And enforce them. And politicians and candidates need to stop making threats and make promises.
Yeah. You're gonna vote them out.
Pardon?
And adhere to your, yes.
Yeah, it's you can, and you know what? Kids can get this off of Snapchat, media. There's all kinds of nicknames. White China. They make it in lollipops. There's just all kinds of different ways that fentanyl's getting through.
Okay, so young people or old people, whoever, what is the draw for, I mean, for somebody who wants to take fentanyl? Does it make you high? Does it make you low? Does it make you?
And the way
Well,
pain.
some for depression, anxiety.
I know they're using it legally, but for the street fentanyl, I mean, yeah, for painkiller, they're using fentanyl.
Yeah.
Takes away physical and mental pain.
Okay,
Yeah, because
so-
it affects
so
the
then, but it's out
dopamine in
there,
your.
and you can take it accidentally through many different sources, right?
Sometimes they don't even know it's in what they're taking. though.
Right.
They think they're taking something else, and they cut it with fentanyl.
Yep, it makes the drugs that they're selling go farther because they're putting fentanyl in with the drugs that they're selling on the
It's
street.
cheaper. It
Gives them
makes
more
like,
volume and the stuff is cheaper,
Yeah.
and they can sell more.
But when
They
you
can
were
make
saying that you can buy it by this name, that name, the other thing online, so.
White China.
Right, so the draw for people buying it is the high, the low,
And making money.
and selling.
It's
If
about
they buy
money.
it offline, they then can sell it to
I
you
got
know,
it.
friends in college
Yeah, I
or
got
high
it.
school or whatever.
But
It's all about money because it's worth like 13 million on the
It's
street.
also used legally in the pharmaceutical.
Yeah, yes, it is. It is legal.
I was actually given fentanyl a few years ago when I fell at home and dislocated my kneecap. And the paramedics actually gave me a dose of fentanyl. Took my pain away.
Oh my God.
Can you explain what you felt?
I knew they used
I was in excruciating pain because I had a dislocated knee. Once they gave me, I can't remember how much they gave me, but they were able to give like 2 vials, like just like little small doses, and they had to give me both before they mobilized my knee. But I didn't feel any pain once I had the fentanyl.
What about your head? Is it clear?
I had no pain, so I had no complaints.
Did you see elephants or anything like that?
No.
The only thing with that is you be careful.
It's not just medicine, it's vitamins,
Yeah.
it's anything that we're buying from China.
Mhm.
Are we kidding?
Yeah.
Yes, they, you know, we import all this stuff, and don't think those people, Chinese, are not thinking, oh, this is a way to get rid of them. And they can lace anything that we get, and here we think we're taking good vitamins, and we're getting healthier, and it's killing us. Mhm. Yep.
Been scary because, you know, they're making pill forms and it resembles a genuine prescription drug.
Yeah.
And they're pressing them and there's just a whole lot. There's just so much. I just started digging into all this. And it's scary and it's real.
Well, you know,
This fentanyl is a big problem. It's a big crisis nationwide. It's big.
It's huge.
And it's a lot of money, and on the streets, it's worth a certain amount, like $13 million. I mean, it's all about the money and power and destroying America.
Gotti, I can help with that. Got.
And there's like, and China has between 160,000, 400,000 chemical companies operating legally and illegally.
How many? 460?
Over 400,000, yeah.
400, wait, you have 400,000 companies?
how many do we have?
We don't have
Ours are in Ukraine.
Everything.
But not only the drugs, but there's sex trafficking little children at the border. There's horrible things going on at the border. My message to the drug dealers and the smugglers and the sex traffickers, this message is from God. You need to stop now while you can, because he says when you've done unto them, I will do unto you as you have done unto them. And it's not too late to get your heart right, but you better, because this is the United States of America. This is God's country. The United States is the best country in the world. And we're not going to tolerate this. We're not going to just stand. We, the people, are going to stand. So,
Praise God.
Amen.
and they can change. God can change them in a blink of an eye. But they better accept Jesus, because it's not going to be good for them.